Joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, former ECU quarterback of the Arlington Renegades, host of the Holton Ahlers Show, and getting ready to be married, man. He is Holton Ahlers. What's up, Holt?
Clip, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm finishing the final days right now, so yeah, stress is high, but we're built for this.
Wedding Watch 25. Holton, kind of talked about this before, but can you compare the stress level between this and playing football?
Not comparable at all. I feel like I was built to play football and handle the stress of football, handle the stress of playing quarterback.
Yeah.
Not so much for wedding planning. It's not my thing. That's why I'm going to do it one time. This is it, and then the rest of my life, I'm just going to live happily married.
All right, Holton Ahlers, one and done at the altar. When is because you talked about the UFL, and it sounds like you want to play more, obviously, but you're having a lot of fun and sounds pretty stress free. You were here at East Carolina and played in so many games by the end of your career. You weren't stressed, but like, when was the last time you felt nervous on a football field? Like, I mean, that North Carolina game, your first ever game, you had to have nerves, right?
I, Not really. Yeah, I mean, I guess like I wasn't nervous. I was more just like hyped to get out there. Like I was living my dream, and like I think I was so young when I played. Like I mean, you gotta think I was a starter here when I was 18 years old, and then
Yeah.
was a starter till I was 22. So like I grew a lot for sure. Grew up a lot. Um, but I think I started so young that like I didn't know any better. I didn't know like how big of a deal that was and how I should have probably been nervous. But I just didn't know any better. I was just like, hey, this is awesome. I'm living my childhood dream. I'm just going to go out here and ball out. So I think I was a little naive to it to like really understand, like, I probably should be nervous. But yeah, I really didn't get nervous for any of those games. I mean, I got like hype, but just not nervous.
And I know, like you were ready to be out there too. Like, let's rehash this for the thousandth time for folks tuning in for the first time. That North Carolina game was week 2. The previous week, ECU lost to an FCS opponent. Was there any chance you were getting in that game, or were they like, you're redshirting or you're not playing at all? Like, were you close at all to going into that first game that we lost?
Crazy enough. So yeah, they were planning on redshirt me that year. So they tell me that like that week, the NCAA week. But that was also the first year where you could play 4 games. So like
Right.
I was going to play 4 games that year. I just didn't know when. And so because if you remember, the A&T game got rained out the night
Oh,
before.
I remember. Yeah, I was in the press box
Um,
when your dad had to tell everybody to leave, and there was like a
yeah.
standoff between him and the fans in the stands.
Yeah, so like I've dreamed my whole life of running out of the stadium into Dowdy Ficklen. We run out, it's a night game, it's awesome. As soon as we get out there, my dad's like, all right, game's delayed. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, just do this again.
the intro video hit, like crowd was
Yeah.
going nuts. It was the worst possible time to tell everybody to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we warm up. So during warm ups, before we run out, Coach Mo comes up to me. He's like, hey, Holt, you're going to play in this game once we get a big lead. So we were planning on beating them so bad that they were going to let their freshman quarterback go out there and play. And lo and behold, we got there and lose the game the next day.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, that was the only game that that I was healthy and dressed for that I didn't play in my entire career. Every other game I played in, because the next week was Carolina, and I played from there on out. As long as I think I missed a COVID game, and then the last game of 2018 I was going to play, but then Coach Mo got fired. I was really hurt then, and Coach Blackwell said just sit it out. Those
Yeah.
are really the only 2 games that I missed. So
So, and you didn't start the Carolina game, right?
no, did not start.
Yeah.
Just brought me in.
And you made your first start. I'm trying to remember. Was it on the road? And it was a pretty good game, right?
No, my first start was at home versus
Let me pull up the score.
UCF when they were
Okay.
like top 10 on like a 27-game win streak. And then I think the next week was Tulane on the road.
Okay. What year are we talking here?
2018.
2018. Maybe I'm thinking about the South Florida game. Did you play in that game?
Say it again. Sorry.
The South Florida game on the
Yes, I
road?
played in that game. Yep,
I
yep,
might
yep.
be
That was the
thinking of that one.
Hurricane game. So we
Yeah.
were supposed to play Virginia Tech
Yep.
in that season, and it got canceled. So then we flew up to because the hurricane, we were playing South Florida. They canceled the Virginia Tech game, so we went up a week early, stayed there, but then I started that game as well.
Looking back, some things are fun to look back at, some not. But man, the history of Holton Ahlers and East Carolina football, and got us to where we are today. Holton, congratulations to your buddy Cornell Powell, J.H. Rose. Great, who won him another title, and I believe he is the first player to have a college football, UFL, and Super Bowl championship.
Probably so. He's winning everywhere. He's a baller. Yeah, good dude. I wish we could have teamed up at some point in our careers, but we've always kind of been not playing against each other. I guess in high school we played against each other. We played against each other once in the UFL. But yeah, I mean, it's been awesome to watch his career and what he's done for himself and for representing Greenville too.
Yeah, and on that note, we hope to get him on the show because he does a great job giving back to the community. I believe he's got a camp coming up in July, so that's another thing to praise Cornell about. He doesn't forget his folks in Greenville, so that's awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Holt, what you watching these days other than the wedding planner to try to figure out what you need to do? You following anything in sports?
Dude, honestly, right now, no. I followed college baseball a little bit, but yeah, wedding planning is full go. Once I get done with that, yeah, I'm ready for summer league basketball. I'm pumped for that and just seeing how the draft goes. But yeah, man, I'm pretty locked in on wedding planning right now. Not gonna lie.
This feels a tad clickbaity, but it's awesome sports talk fodder. Pirate Radio retweeted David Schultz, who said, "A source tells me the Sun Belt has reached out to East Carolina to gauge their interest in joining the conference." I feel like we've gone over this before, Holton, but ECU to the Sun Belt, there are certainly pros. There could be big financial cons. So, but how do you feel about East Carolina, and potentially going to the Sun Belt?
Yeah, first I'll start off by saying I don't think it's going to happen unless the money or something figures
Right.
itself out. They're just not going to do it for less money. It just doesn't make sense. I love the regional aspect of it. I think for where everything is headed, I think you got to stay in the American. I think it's more realistic that the American adds Sunbelt teams than Sunbelt adding American teams,
Mm-hmm.
unless there's a new TV deal or something like that. But I will say, if you look at the new age American and compare it to the Sunbelt, like I like the matchups better in the Sun Belt. I would get more excited about that. I would get more excited about getting some local rivalries. Now, it might take years to build those local rivalries, but playing Rice, playing Tulsa, like some of these schools now, I mean, it's just tough. North Texas, like it's tough to create rivalries or any like. Are people going to get excited about them coming into Greenville? And you can also make the argument there's schools like that in the Sun Belt, which understandable, but there's also a lot of good local schools. So it works both ways. But I see more, I wish in the best world possible they would merge and make their own kind of like super G5 conference, and then make it really
Absolutely.
competitive and make it good TV. I'm sure you get a good TV deal out of it too. So that would be my like if I was the commissioner, if nothing else mattered but just matchup purposes and all these leagues are combining. Why don't we combine those two and make like a good G5, conference?
Yeah, and you say it might take a while to develop some of these rivalries. If you look at the Sun Belt East, we already have rivalries with some.
Yeah.
Like Marshall was our best rival in Conference USA back in the day. They're in the East. James Madison used to be in the CAA with East Carolina. Old Dominion, I'm sick of playing them, but hey, if we're gonna play them every year, at least make it a conference game. Coastal has become a fun little rivalry. You beat them in a bowl game, and they knocked us off in baseball, and that's been fun. And then of course App State, and they've had our number here over the last few years. So those are just the schools in the East. I almost wish, Holt, I've heard somebody say this. Take the schools in the East of the American, put those with the Sun Belt East, and let our American Texas schools go play the West, and let's split it that way.
Well, I mean, you just said I played at ODU, it was a sold out crowd. I played at Marshall, it was a sold out crowd. They played at App State the year after me, it was a sold out crowd. And JMU would be pretty most sold out crowd. So, like, why wouldn't, like, these are
Yeah.
really good schools that are really good. And we're not even just talking about football. Like, if you can create this with, I mean, the fun part about being a fan now, like now that I'm done playing football, at least in college, is like you realize like fan bases, like you're saying, like Coastal Carolina, like us playing them in a bowl game kind of created a little rivalry on social media with the fans. Now, when they play in baseball, like there's already a little tension there, and then it just keeps growing. Well, imagine if next year we played them in football. Well, we do play them in football next year. So there you go. But imagine if that was a conference, and it was a conference game, and you're trying to win the conference every year. Like these things matter, and that's why I think it makes a lot of sense. But sadly, financials and TV rights and a lot of other things go into it. But I will say on the other hand, financially, long term, traveling these non revenue sports, you want to play closer. You don't want to fly your whole teams to Texas, to
Yeah.
spend these months. You want to be as close as possible. So that makes a lot of sense logistically, but TV rights kind of own it all right now.
Jared, didn't we play Coastal in basketball last season? Yeah. Huh? Whooped
There you
them?
go.
Yeah, there you go. So,
There you go.
and I kind of crapped on Old Dominion there for a moment, but I would like to see one of these teams on the schedule in non-conference every year in football. Whether
100%. Yeah.
Marshall, James Madison would be great. I looked at who's the team Holton to get in. What, Jarrett? Beat them by 4. That's whooped them. Yeah, okay, we'll take that. But Holt, getting one of these teams on would be fun, with and I looked at a too early kind of group of 5 who's going to be the Boise State this year. It could be Boise State again, but James Madison was on that list of potential
Wow.
teams, along with Tulane and Navy that I looked at as far as who could be making the playoff. But anyway, yeah, man, if you could somehow mix and match the AAC and Sun Belt, we could have a real good league. But anyway,
I mean, yeah, I just think like you look at the American, and I mean this in the best way possible. Like, who are the big brands now? It's Army, Navy. I guess you say Tulane.
but
Um,
Tulane's not a big brand, but they're a really good football team right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. Agreed. ECU. We
Memphis
like
is Memphis a brand, Holton? What do you think? I mean,
art. They're good at football, but everyone views them as basketball. I think.
yeah.
And is Memphis going to sell out more than anyone else will sell out is another thing. Like that's what I'm saying is like the deeper you look into this, like let's just create something local. And I'm going to say this, like for ECU, like even I didn't think adding Charlotte to the American was that good. The Charlotte football games are fun to go to now because the fans chirp, they get used to each other. Now it's insane that we've lost 2 in a row, but it's just something to having a local, like it has more feel when you go to work the next day.
Oh, I love
You
the ECU basketball, ECU Charlotte basketball too a year.
Yeah,
That's
I've
good.
been at Charlotte. I've been to
Yeah.
a basketball game. It was a blast. So like these things are fun because you know people who are alumni there, and if you create more of a regional feel, it makes a lot of sense. But a lot of times NCAA doesn't go off of making sense. It makes off of making money.
Yep. There you go. Holt, we'll let you get back to planning, but you want to spoil, like, what are your wedding colors? I remember we had like green and pink or something like that. I want to say.
Yeah, just black and white, as far as I know. Now Grace has done all the planning, so I might show up there and there might be something else there, but I just know black and white.
Good stuff. Well, good stuff, Holt. Appreciate you joining us, man. Good luck to you,
Yes,
buddy.
sir. Appreciate it. See y'all.